Hello, everyone, and I hope everyone is doing well. I'm so excited about our get together today because I have a very dear and special friend of mine who is very knowledgeable and who is going to share with us some really, truly very valuable tips on how you can keep your furry babies healthy. So a lot of you have been, asking me, Vasi, can our babies watch TV? Can our babies do this? And well, then I, went to my amazing friend Erica, and she said, yeah, Vasi, I will come and I'm going to share with your community more, because I'm truly believer, and I would encourage you, friends, this is really a very important training. So I would encourage, it doesn't matter which platform are you watching, are you listening this as a podcast or in YouTube channel, please share. So without further ado, I want to welcome you, Erica. And if you don't mind, I will call you Erica. You're a doctor. You're a manager of, emergency pet clinic. I had the honor to photograph, and, and we have like wonderful, like I was so excited when I came to the clinic. Because people may say, but Vasi, how you can be excited to go to emergency clinic? Because I think that knowledge, it's a key. And I never will forget that if you know where is the closest pet emergency, you may save the life of your fur babies.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me, Vasi. My name is Dr. Erica Bickel. You guys can call me Erica. I'm from Florida. I'm actually born and raised here in Palm Beach County, and I've been an ER doctor since graduating vet school from Auburn University, and I've been here with Veg for about 2 years. And at Veg, all we do is emergency, so we really do it best. I want to talk to you all about some common spring and summertime emergencies, and hopefully help you guys feel a little bit more comfortable with, if you ever do, God forbid, deal with those things with your fur babies, that you feel you understand the knowledge and you're empowered to get them the treatment that they need. And that Veg is here for you for any of your emergency needs. We're open 24/7, 365 days, nights, weekends, and holidays. We're always here to help you and your pet when you need us most. And you can always call and talk to a doctor on the phone to help you triage if you even need to come into the ER. We can help you determine that on the phone in most times, but we're here for you. And I hope that you don't need us, but if you do, you know where to find us. And Vasi will put our website at the end. We have locations across the country, so you can find the Veg nearest to you. And I will chat a little bit about these summer and springtime emergencies. We've got some photos here. So, the first one that we see here a lot in South Florida are related to beach visits. So this is a big summer bummer, is when your dog goes to the beach, you think they're having a great time, they're playing in the sand, and we have some silly dogs. Labrador retrievers, I think, are notorious for this, that for whatever reason, they just end up ingesting a ton of sand, whether they're playing fetch or digging or playing with other dogs. So this is an x-ray of a dog. You can see the head is actually on the left side of your screen and the tail is on the right. And then you can see the bones in bright white, and in the middle, all of those sausage-shaped tubes are intestines. The normal intestines are black like gas, but that big backward C-shaped section is a ton of sand that's actually stuck in the intestines, and that can cause a blockage. In these cases, we do recommend that you seek veterinary care, and oftentimes we don't know, owners don't even know that their dogs have a sand impaction. They just say, I don't know, he's vomiting, or his belly looks painful, he's not eating his dinner tonight. And we're prompted to take an x-ray, and this is often what we see on the x-ray. Usually, if these are straightforward and they're, otherwise healthy dogs, we can usually give them treatment for 12 to 24 hours with IV fluids, and they usually pass the sand. Sometimes we have to give them things like laxatives to help soften the stool, and we don't ever recommend giving any over-the-counter medications for these. That can be really dangerous. So we do recommend that you bring them into your vet, and they do sometimes have to spend some time on fluids. but we can usually get them better pretty quickly. So
it's
yeah.
just so amazing how you can help them. And, you know, as we know, we have friends from everywhere, from US and abroad. It doesn't matter, friends, if you live in a state like, you know, Erica and myself, you, with sand, but maybe you decide to go to a lake, there might be some sand there. So you may face it in a different directions. And I think the fact that we know our options, and to me, the biggest takeaway is just whatever happens, just go and really never will forget, you know, if God forbid something happens to humans, we always call 911, right? How about if something happens to your babies? And no one likes this. Everyone keeps saying, no, it's not going to happen to me. And I really wish it never happens to none of you. But if it happens, what's plan B if it's in the middle of the evening and it's a holiday? What happens? And that's why, you know, like everything what you suggest, and going actually mentioning about the location. So friends, before we started, you know, live streaming and recording, I went to their website and I was amazed. I mean, like you have so many places in so many locations in US. It's incredible. I mean, I admire you because that's a lot of organization, but also it's so special, the fact that you can help a lot of fur babies from everywhere, you know, save lives. Sometimes that's what it's all about, save lives of the babies.
Yeah, and Vasi, that's a good point. Like our friends that are, you know, not in South Florida and might not have a beach or might not even have a lake, but you know, this time of year when we start getting nicer weather, we might be outside and grilling on a barbecue. And that's another thing to think of when you have like the grease or the fat runoff from a grill that's going to collect on the dirt. And we have dogs that often will eat that dirt. And so it's a similar impaction and can be a blockage, and they can get really sick from that. And you don't have to be anywhere near a lake or a pond, so, or a beach.
No, that's fantastic, especially as we know Easter is coming. You know, some people may celebrate with the barbecue. Who knows? So this is actually, you know, very, very important part. And I know that the next thing, thank you so much. This was very interesting. So you're going to educate us here a little more, you know.
Yeah.
Tell us, please.
Yeah. So I on the theme of eating things that you shouldn't, you know, we're all outside enjoying the nice weather, whether we're having a barbecue with like ribs or chicken wings or something, and we're eating things with bones. And our dogs could accidentally eat some of the bones, or maybe we think that it could be a treat for them and we don't know that it could actually be harmful for them, and we give them that food intentionally, like the picture on the left, or like the picture on the right. If we're, you know, maybe we're going fishing and our dog, you know, we turn our back for 1 second and our dog eats that the bait off of the hook, and then they swallow the whole hook. So these are two very various emergencies. Both of these foreign bodies, whether it's a bone or a fish hook, they're stuck in the esophagus. So these are things that we absolutely see through our emergency, and we need to act quickly. So if you ever think that your pet ate a bone or has something stuck in their throat, you do need to bring them to the emergency very, very urgently. These are very time sensitive and they can be life threatening if we don't treat them fast enough. We have an endoscope here, or a piece of equipment that has like a little camera on it, and we, under anesthesia, we put it down the dog's esophagus, and we go in with a little tool and we can pluck that foreign body out or push it into the stomach, depending on what it's made of and if it can go into the stomach and then pass through like normal digestion. But these pets do have to be seen, and we do have to put them under anesthesia, which we have very safe anesthesia. It's exactly what we use in human medicine. State-of-the-art monitoring as well, and then our advanced equipment, our endoscope, to go retrieve the foreign material. So those are some other things that we see commonly of this nice weather in spring and summer.
It's very interesting, and actually I have to tell kind of a tragic situation. One of my clients, her doggy loves tennis balls. Well, the doggy decided to eat it. So, of course, she had to go in her local, she lives she lives in Stewart, so she had to go in her local emergency, and it wasn't pleasant. So next time when we had a photo session, she said, so Basi, I'm keeping it away, only showing it for pictures. Of course, that was when she was working, and it wasn't picture related, but we learned the lesson. So that can happen sometimes, unfortunately, with a little warrior. Maybe it can be a toy, maybe it could be a chew stick. I mean, things can happen. So kind of keep an eye to this, friends.
Yeah, it absolutely, it happens when you least expect it. So
But
yeah.
I'm telling you, my client, she was like, Basi, tennis ball, it's at home. I'm hiding it in my back pocket. I'm like, okay. Oh my God. And I really love your facility. Maybe some people never have been in a pet emergency, kind of really to see
Yeah.
how it looks like. So I'm so grateful that you shared this picture. I mean, I had a unique opportunity to photograph. It's very clean, organized. A lot of interesting things for people like me who have no clue. I mean, I'm honest, I'm not a medical person, but very interesting.
Well, I think that's part of what makes veg so special, is that we are totally transparent, and these are your fur babies. And just like human children, we would never go to a pediatrician and hand over our babies and say, okay, well, you can take my baby to the back, I guess I'll wait here. You are at veg, you're staying with your pet the whole time. We don't separate pets and their people. So you'll see in this picture here, I just took this picture a few hours ago in the ICU. You'll see the gentleman in the orange shirt. His pet is here in the hospital, and he's staying here with his pet. We welcome owners to stay. If their pet needs to be hospitalized for several days, they can stay here the whole time. They're in the back, they're with us alongside as we're getting vitals and we're doing treatments on their pets. Owners they're welcome to watch surgery if their pet needs surgery. So we do have you guys in the back to be involved. We know these are your fur babies, and we know how hard it is to be separated from them when they do need care. And oftentimes, with the topics we were just discussing, like foreign bodies or going to the beach, getting dehydrated, these pets do often have some vomiting and diarrhea, and sometimes they can get even a salt toxicity from consuming too much salt water at the beach. And they do have to stay in the hospital on IV fluids to help get them better.
Wow, that's really, and it happens, the problem is that happen. And again, everyone would say, oh, not to me, but you never know what is going to happen. So that's actually, I think, thank you. This is very, very valuable information for everyone to know.
Yeah.
Just this thing here. And I just want to see if, if there are any, again, friends, if you have any questions, it doesn't matter which platform, you're watching, please, let us know. And I'm going to share now our next slide here. And thank you again for giving us, I'm very excited to learn more.
Yeah. I'm happy to be sharing this information. It can be life-saving. So these group of dogs, these are all a bunch of cuties that are what we call brachycephalic breeds. Basically anything with a little smushed face. So our French bulldogs, our English bulldogs, our pugs, even those little peanut head chihuahuas that have smushed little noses. So these friends are actually predisposed to having heat stress and heat stroke in our hot, humid months. It's because their airways, just because of their conformation, their breeding, their airways are very, very small, and they have a lot of extra tissue at the end of their palate, actually. So that's why they make those cute little snorty noises. And
really?
Yeah, that's actually their soft palate. But in times of like heat stress, they can be predisposed to heat stroke. And anytime you think your dog is overheating, they do need to come into the ER, or your primary vet if they're open and you can get there fast enough, but small. And they have so they do need to go in and seek care. We do have to do, sometimes depending on the severity, major treatments like giving them actually plasma transfusions to help, because they can go into organ failure from getting too hot. So, and it can happen very, very quickly, even on a day that you and I might be very comfortable at. Especially here in South Florida, because it gets so humid, these little babies can overheat really quickly. So especially these hot months, we try to recommend, avoid the hottest part of the day. Don't go for walks and don't go to the dog park when it's that hot part of the day. Go the very early part of the day and the very end part of the day. Always providing fresh access to or free access to fresh water, shady spots, AC spots. I think these babies that have smushed faces, really just avoiding it altogether and making some lifestyle adjustments to, help prevent that from happening, because it can be life-threatening, and it's really scary when we see them come in. We unfortunately, sometimes we can't save them if the heat stress is bad enough, but we do gold standard medicine, and there's a lot that we do to help support them through. And oftentimes when we see them soon enough, we can support them through this.
Amazing. And by the way, there were some comments, that it's fantastic that you work 24/7. And I would encourage you, friends, who, again, whatever you're watching, I know that I have a lot of friends and following from people with pet fashion. Still share it with your organization, share it with your followers, because I'm a true believer that everything what Erica is sharing with us, it's really, it if it saves one life, it's a miracle. And sometimes I never will forget, when you were like, you don't think about this stuff, but when it happens to you, you're trying to dig in your brain. Oh, do you know, I remember listening this. Let me know, let me be aware. And again, all of us, we always strive and do our best to be the best for parents possible, because as you mentioned, they are our babies, they are our furry kids, they're family members. But again, if we don't know, I didn't know, to be honest with you, thank you, because from now on, I will be a little even extra cautious when I do my session and I have those breeds to photograph outdoors. I will be like, make sure you bring, a lot of water.
Yeah, if you're doing your photo sessions, I think bring a fan too, like even one for like little kids is helpful to have. So absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is really very valuable information.
Yeah.
And this is something very unfortunately trendy in Florida.
This is the Florida special, these Bufo toads. So we do have these toads, a variety of them, cane toads in Australia too. So I think there are some other species that are similar in their toxin. So these toads are bad news, and curious little dogs, especially little Yorkies, because we have to remember that Yorkies were bred to actually chase rats. And so whenever they see that little moving critter, that's part of their breeding. Like they have that drive to chase and to bite it. So we do see these a lot in South Florida and backyards, especially this time of year after rain. These guys like to come out, and they're a nuisance. They, the dogs get them, and you'll see signs, symptoms that can vary from mild signs, like this dog that's hyper salivating and drooling a lot. But the signs can be much worse. They can actually have very severe seizures, and they can seize uncontrollably. So anytime you think that your pet might have had contact with one of these Bufo toads, what we recommend doing right away at home is wipe the gums with a damp washcloth or paper towel, like this owner is doing in the picture here. We never want you to stick the hose or a water faucet down their mouth, because oftentimes you'll hear people say, oh, flush their mouth out, flush their mouth out. And yes, while we do want to flush their mouth or wipe their mouth, we don't ever want to stick any water source directly in their mouth, because dogs' airways, they can have a difficult time protecting it, and they can actually inhale or aspirate that fluid, and they can get pneumonia. And that pneumonia can be worse than the toxin itself, because we can usually support them through usually in mild cases, they just have an upset tummy, and we give them some medicine to help settle their stomach. And again, nothing over the counter. We do recommend you come into the vet, but sometimes they have seizures, and we do have to give them medicine to help stop the seizures. But once we've stopped the seizures, they usually do very well, and they go back to living a normal life. They may be repeat offenders, so you may have to, really supervise when they go outside. Some dogs get an acquired taste for these toads, and they'll do it over and over again. So, yeah.
I can tell you, never will forget a very tragic story. I was photographing in an animal place. We raised money for rescue organization, actually for the canine veterans doggy. And anyway, I was the last person who took pictures of the baby. So apparently the parents went on vacation. Instead of going to the doggy daycare, they decided to hire a dog sitter. Yeah. Well, the dog sitter went for a walk. Duncan saw the froggy, kissed the froggy, and it's very sad. And I don't like to talk even about this, but my point is that sometimes it may not be us. It could be other family members, or maybe our pet sitter, whom, I mean, pet sitter most likely would know, but family members may not know. So that's why I would encourage everyone, friends, particularly maybe, take a picture of that white and make sure you showcase this to your family members so they know if they see similar looking frog, because especially now in this time of the year by us in Florida, there are frogs everywhere. It's ridiculous. You go outside for evening walk and you can see quack, 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 quack. It's not a good thing. So just, I hope everyone be careful, but thank you again. This is very, very valuable information. I definitely love it. And so here, we had questions of some of our some of our people, some of our members, and then you were so generous also to come up with some, which I remember one of our members, I think it was on Sunday, she posted a very cute picture of her cute, beautiful princess watching TV, and then she wrote in the comments, she said, Vasi, she loves watching TV, but I don't know, is it good or bad? So I said, I'm going to ask the pro. I'm going to ask my amazing friend, incredible doctor. So what do you think about TV?
Totally fine. It's actually a good form of enrichment for a lot of dogs. Cats in particular, they really like the TV, so you can put on something like, I think you got to be careful if you have a silly pet that might jump at the TV and knock furniture down and injure themselves. Cats more so than dogs, but that's a great form of enrichment. I think what I want to be careful about is if you think that your dog has anxiety, separation anxiety, and that's why you're leaving the TV on, that might be enough to help them. But you know your pet best. And if you think that they're having more anxiety when you're gone, like a separation anxiety, reach out to your vet, because there's often a medication that we can give to help them with their anxiety. But TV in and of itself, not harmful at all. It's a good form of enrichment. So keep on watching TV with your puppy.
I'm sure that a lot of our friends will be happy. TV, yes, friends. TV, yes. That's why I really loved this picture. Like, you cannot, like, the moment when you see popcorn, obviously, we know probably for pets not a good thing, but it's just like I said, it's TV. When you look at this, it's TV. So yes, on the TV. Oh my God, I love it. And for pet insurance, I'm actually so glad that you were kind of scratching the surface and talking about it, because I wish I actually had thought of it. I had one of our members, she will know who she is when she hears this. I mean, she has 10 doggies, and I think currently she has 12.
Wow.
She just adopted 2 more, and she asked me, so Vasi, can you recommend pet insurance? I honestly didn't think to reach out to you, and I don't know anything. So can you kind of give us, I don't know, what do you think from your point of view?
Yeah, so pet insurance is a phenomenal resource, and I highly recommend that every pet parent has insurance. There is a variety of plans out there to fit every pet's needs and every family's budget. The two that I've seen most commonly, and I think is a great They're both really great companies. Nationwide has pet insurance, and True Panion, TruPanion. They're both really great companies and really good coverage, really easy to use, and can alleviate the financial stress of a pet emergency, and not only emergencies, but your routine wellness stuff too, the things that you need in a year to keep your pet healthy. So I recommend that for every family.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Because I do agree. I mean, they're now thinking of it. There were more people who asked me, so Vasi insurance, Vasi insurance. So thank you. We heard it from the pro.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
it's important to have. I have it for my own pets. So I think the other thing that you mentioned earlier is, you know, as pet parents, we should always have a plan in place. You know, you never think that it will happen to you, but that's why they call them emergencies and accidents, because we don't expect them to happen. So know where your nearest vet ER is, have a plan in place. If they're not a 24/7 place like Veg, you know their hours, know how to get there, and talk to your primary vet too, see where they recommend. And, you know, I think the really cool thing again about Veg is that you can always call and talk to a doctor directly about a medical question. You know, if you're concerned, we're concerned, and we're going to help you determine if you need to come in with your pet. You know, we can't give you prescriptions over the phone. We need to see your pet if we are worried about them, but we can help you say, yeah, you know what, that sounds like an emergency. I agree with your concerns, come in. Or, you know what, you can probably wait until your primary vet opens tomorrow morning. So just to help give you that peace of mind, and do, you know, stay up to date with your primary vet. I know in these times we're all so busy, and it's really hard to keep up with the, you know, the wellness stuff sometimes. And, you know, we get so caught up in the day-to-day life, but make sure you're keeping up with your, you know, your routine wellness visits with your primary vet, because in many cases that can, you know, prevent disease and catch it early so that you don't wind up in the ER. Especially with, you know, our urgent care things that, you know, we can absolutely see you for, and help you, but those urgent care things can often be, you know, avoided by going to your vet and staying up to date, helping to prevent like skin allergies, ear infections, fleas, and other parasites that we see a lot during the summer too. So
Fantastic. Thank you so much. This is really
sure.
like very helpful. You know, people now will know. And you're right, you never can predict when it's going to happen, but the problem is that when it happens and you are stuck with it, you know, so it's important. And as we know, like even in our area, unfortunately, like in Boyton, where you're located, like honestly, you are, like, I know, you know, for years, like you're amazing, like you have a lot of people. Again, when we talk about pet emergency, I understand it's painful in a way that people don't want to go there, but we are talking in a way that you can save the life of your furry baby. And I had one of my clients, I photographed her dog about 5 years ago. So a few weeks ago, she sent me a picture and she said, oh, my Amy, it's not feeling well. The moment she sent me the picture, I saw that she was in your office,
Wow.
and I'm like, well, I know them, you're in good hands. I photographed it. And when I came and I photographed, I mean, I was amazed by how clean it is, how organized it is, how everyone is so nice, the clients, the babies. And I have seen a lot in my career, and I'm like so honored. And I would definitely encourage people, you know, to make sure that, you know, you check the website. Again, we will add the information of the website, and we'll give you the general website, so you can go on locations like here on the bottom, and you can just type your zip code and see, because you have like a lot of locations. I mean, it's like,
And opening 2 more in Florida, on the east coast of Florida at the end of this year, a second Miami location, and Palm Beach Gardens. So
area.
yes,
Yeah. Area. I love it. I'm excited. You know, and then you have in California, and you have in other states, you have in so many, you know, different places that it's like, I actually, Do you know what? I can even, showcase. Let me just.
29 locations across the country. Yeah.
Wow.
And one day we will be international one day as well.
Fantastic. Listen, that will be great because Pet Pigs, it's international, global. So don't worry, we'll have more friends. But look at these friends: see, California, Colorado, okay, District of Columbia, Florida. This is the Boyton. This is where Erica, you can go and just say hi to Erica and the rest of the team. Again, everyone, it's really nice. You can see Tampa. Look, it's fantastic. Illinois, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, and we have a lot of friends from New York. So friends, look at this. 8 locations. It's amazing. Texas. Well, that's quite a bit. That's really quite a bit. And again, we are going to make sure we add the link so you can, connect friends. If you need help, just make sure again, share with your friends. Sharing it's care, especially when it comes up to health. And sometimes minutes can save the life of your furry babies. Minutes. Very important. Well, thank you very much. And I know that, friends, I have been asking in your behalf. So Erica said that she will kind of comes once in a while to give us some value information, because I think that knowing those stuff really sometimes can prevent us from bad things. So let's enjoy a healthy life with the good professionals. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. And we're here. I'd love to come, chat with you guys again. Thank you for your time. Thanks for letting me visit and teach you guys a little bit.
I loved it. You're a natural, you're amazing.
Oh.
Thank you again. So enjoy the rest of your day. I know that you're currently in the clinic saving for babies' lives. So thank you very much, and we will see you soon. Thank you. You are amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.